Good morning, everyone, and welcome. And this morning, we are very pleased to have Debbie Wadell with us. Debbie and I have known each other for some time. We've had several clubs back, the Gluten-Free Club and the yeah, Eating in the Raw, and the Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Club. And Debbie is amazing with raw food diets, and she's certified in all that. She has a cookbook and just a wealth of knowledge. And now, this last year, she went back and got her certification in CBD, and she is now the director of, for the Pharm Stand with CBD.
Yes.
So Debbie, I'll give you this mic.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming, and thank you, Mary, for giving me this opportunity to share the two passions of my life, which is plant medicine and plant food. I am a director of education and compliance at the Pharm Stand, the new, I don't even like to call it a CBD store, because we're not a typical CBD store at all. First and foremost, look how pretty it is. We also have table and chairs. You don't see that, but they're over here in the corner. And we have those table and chairs because we run classes, and they're free. And we also have webinars. Those are free. Our next webinar will be on arthritis and plant medicine and arthritis. And so I have a sign-up sheet in the back, and with Fran, and I also have our brochures. And so what really stands us apart from probably any other CBD store, and for that matter, from the medical dispensaries? We have on staff a family nurse practitioner. We have our two doctors on our advisory board one is the director of palliative care from Duke University Hospital and his associate. We also have a medical marijuana doctor, because of course, you know, if you're an MD, you're not trained in cannabis or plant medicine at all. For that matter, they're not trained in plant nutrition either. And so we do have a doctor that did the training for medical marijuana on our advisory board as well. In addition to that, we have a PhD pharmacology researcher. So if there are any drug interactions, we've got an expert right on site. Plus we have the doctor, the medical marijuana doctor, at our disposal. And I am a certified cannabinoid therapeutic consultant. That's a mouthful. And who else do we? Oh, and then we have a military. We have one young person on our staff. I tried to hire people. Oh my God, I finally decided I'm only hiring senior citizens or people in the military. And this young kid is 13 years military as like a nurse assistant. And so he's the only young one I'll hire. I hired 2 people that worked at a dispensary. First person never showed up for her first day of work. Second person never showed up for her first interview. And that's when I said, no, only doing seniors. We're the only one with a work ethic anymore. And so that's what sets us apart. First of all is our staff is highly trained. We're not hiring bud tenders. And our mission is to improve the lives of those who are looking for natural choice healthcare. I am very excited to say we are working hand in hand right now with the Villages Healthcare System. The Villages Healthcare System is, they are sending us their pain, sleep, anxiety, and stress patients. Because they know, they know that they would rather send their patients to us than put them on opioids, Ambien, the sleep drugs, the anxiety drugs. And they're getting such a good response from the people they're sending to us that they're sending us more and more, and now they want to work with us. And we're excited to say that in a couple of weeks, we think that consultations are going to be covered by insurance. Not ever the product. I hope in the future they'll start to see that our products are truly medicine and CVS's products are drugs. And so they are working with us. We have set up a portal so that if you are, we have people that might want to come in, they don't want to be part of the program, if you will, or maybe they just want to take a gummy at night. But if you've got a condition that requires long-term treatment, then we would work with you and your doctor, and then we communicate with each other through a portal. So it's really very exciting that the Villages Health is excited about this and on board. The other thing is, we believe that overall, although the products are not inexpensive, they're a lot more inexpensive if you're stuck having to spend $300 for a drug. And then it becomes much more cost effective, not only for you, but also for the healthcare system in general. We offer the Pharm Talks both at our facility in rec centers like I'm doing now, but we also go to your home. Now, if we go to your home, that is the one place we will bring product. And it's kind of like, I use the analogy, we all know about Tupperware parties. Well, I like to call it a Cannaware party. I have done many. People invite their neighborhood over. I hook up to your TV, hopefully. And then I bring some products and I do something like this, and then we sell the product at your home to your friends. I passed around that it's you and I, your pets, actually every animal except for snakes contain you have an endocannabinoid system. And you see that on the table there. And let me see if I can do this. I can. There you go. We are born with, it's called an endocannabinoid system. This system's main job is to maintain homeostasis. or balance with everything. Let's say you get a fever. Let's say you come down with a virus. What's your body's way of fighting that virus naturally? What would it do? It'd give you a fever, right? It's your endocannabinoid system that brings that fever, if you didn't take Tylenol, your endocannabinoid system would bring that fever back to normal. You have a trauma, your endocannabinoid system rushes to it to what? To reduce the inflammation and help you heal. Our endocannabinoid system is the largest neurotransmitter in our bodies. But guess what? It was discovered in 1988. And think about it, it's the largest neurotransmitter in our body, and yet only 13% of medical schools even know we have one. That's changing, definitely changing big time. More and more and more and more medical staff are now starting to realize how important this is. We have CB1 and CB2 receptors. CB1 receptors are predominantly, but not 100%, for THC. And our CB2 receptors, those are the ones that are predominantly CBD. And those are the ones we target. Do we carry THC? We do, but in very unique and legal quantities such that you do not have to spend $477 a year to get a medical card when 80% of most conditions can be treated with CBD without THC. Now, and we'll get into products a little bit more, but our CB2 receptors, you have them on your skin, on every organ in your body, on every muscle in your body. So, to me, it's just common sense that our Creator put this plant on this earth 60 million years ago. And it survived. And do you think it's a coincidence that we have a plant that we have receptor sites in our body for? No. This plant will feed us, hemp seeds, clothe us, hemp clothing. Never had to cut down a tree because hemp makes paper, cardboard, and every darn thing else. It's a medicine. And the last one, there are times when you just want to feel good. It does that too. So to me, now the other interesting point, for 6,000 years, this plant has been used as a medicine. And oh, by the way, when I was in school, this just drove me insane. When I was in school and learned that what started the demise of this plant, I always thought was Big Pharma. It's not. It wasn't. It is now. But you can't patent a plant. And they couldn't make enough money off of hemp. But guess what they could patent? Cotton. That was was the beginning of the demise of this plant. Yet, I saw a picture in school, 1928, United States Pharmacopoeia. Cannabis is listed to treat at least 17 different diseases. Until greed got in the way and they took this amazing plant away from us. Thank goodness, it's back. I will just share what happened to me. I'm one of the very few people, there's only about 2 or 3%, that truly does have hyperlipidemia. Most people think they have it, but being a whole food, plant-based eater and teacher, I never put a stitch of cholesterol in my body, but unfortunately, I have the gene in my liver that just pumps cholesterol. And so I do take one injection for that, because if I don't, my cholesterol just goes to 370. Yeah, eating whole food, plant-based. However, I had, in all the years of developing this, I had developed a condition called PAD, peripheral artery disease. And so for 6 years, every 4 to 6 months, I had to have a surgical procedure done. They have to knock me out, they have to go down my leg, rotor-rooter, or put more, I don't have any more stents, but I do have 7 stents in one leg and 3 in another. And again, 4 to 6 months for 6 years. And I asked my cardiologist, how do you feel about cannabis? And he said, Deb, I'm all for it, but I can't prescribe it. I'll lose my Medicare license. He said, but go see a medical marijuana doctor, and if you need your files, I'm happy to send them. So I did. It's been 4.5 years since I started cannabis. I have not had a surgical procedure on my legs in 4.5 years. And stories after stories after stories. Look at these young children. Epilepsy. That's why CBD became legal. Because a child with the most difficult to treat seizures. Have you heard of Charlotte's Web? Well, Charlotte, that little angel that was brought to us for this reason. She had over 100 seizures a day. The parents, no drug touched the seizures, just made the poor little child into a zombie. Couldn't do anything. And then the parents heard about a possibility how CBD can help with the seizures. So they went to Colorado, because they could get it, it was legal. Her first day on CBD. Now granted, she's young, so it worked really quickly, but her first day on CBD was her first day. She went without a seizure. One day. It is thanks, she passed at 14. But she gave us the greatest gift. This is her legacy. And so I can tell you story after story, but you all have this. Oh, wait, gotta find the slides again. Here they are. Our endocannabinoid endocannabinoid system is based on a lock and key mechanism. Okay, so our CBD receptors, and our cannabinoids. By the way, there's 3 types of cannabinoids. One that our body produces every day. Those are called endocannabinoids. And the 2 most important ones are the cannabinoid, it's called anandamide. And anandamide, that word means blissful, and we call it the bliss molecule. What they have learned when we jog, and you hear about the runner's high, well, that's what the runner's high is. The anandamide is released. And so I told you, it's the master control system for every gastrointestinal, endocrine, cardiovascular, what else? Reproductive as well. It puts all of those systems, and their job is to maintain homeostasis. When you're injured, you're inflamed, you're stressed, it turns on and sends out the molecules. Oh, sorry. It sends out the molecules to correct the imbalance, and their job is to restore balance so that you feel better. I love this one. I'm a retired acupuncturist, and I saw 75 to 100 patients a week. And my focus was both fertility, but it was pain management. And this, how many here have heard fibromyalgia, right? Now, back in the day, when I was treating patients, and I'd get my fibromyalgia patients in, guess where their doctors sent them? Back in the day, anybody have an idea where women were recommended, what doctor women were recommended to see who had fibromyalgia? Yes. They were told to go see a psychiatrist because it was probably in their head. Why? Fibromyalgia, migraines, IBS. Crohn's is another one. These are not diseases of unknown origin. Dr. Ethan Russo, and you can, if you want to know a lot about this, Dr. Ethan Russo on YouTube, just pull him up. And what he realized, well, he theorized, but then research proved it. Fibromyalgia, IBS, migraines are a deficiency of your endocannabinoid system. And that is why doctors don't recognize that or know about that, because they don't even know we have an endocannabinoid system. So, we have cannabinoids that actually help build bone. All types of arthritis are treated wonderfully with CBD. Now, what's the big difference between THC and CBD, besides getting high? Because you don't get high on CBD at all. But you do get relaxed. So THC is both psychotropic and intoxicating. THC will get you stoned, but it's also an appetite stimulant. And that is why it's often recommended now by most oncologists. I have 3 friends, sadly, right now with stage 4 cancer, and every one of them were told, go get your medical marijuana card. Because they want them to stimulate the appetite, but it also works wonders for their pain. So, and of course it's a sedative. CBD, there's no intoxication whatsoever. However, it can have a psychotropic effect. And what I mean by that, if you're military and you have PTSD and you take this plant medicine and your PTSD is much better, then it is psychotropic because it changed, right? Anyone who's depressed and is no longer depressed, it's psychotropic. But you don't get high, it's relaxing, it gives you sometimes a sense of, you're just euphoric, but you're not stoned in any way, and you're totally able to do anything you want to do. CBD, and THC for that matter, is one of the biggest anti-inflammation medicines you could take. But when you buy a CBD product from us, you're not just getting CBD. You're getting all of the minor cannabinoids with it. For instance, I'll do that one. This is, okay, so, oops. When you come into the store and you meet with one of us that are there, and you come in and you're like, okay, I want help with pain and I want help with sleep. Those are the big ones that we get because of our age, yes. And so we always bring you to the wheels. And we always explain why we're giving you the product we're giving you or recommending to you. We bring you to the wheel, and my most famous product that helps so many people is CBD, and you see it's a pain desensitizer. It's a pain reliever, it's anti-anxiety, antidepressant, it's an immunosuppressant, it's neuroprotective, antipsychotic, it's an antioxidant, and anti-inflammatory. That's just CBD, and there's many more parts. Relief, you can't fit them all on the wheel. But if you're in pain, I give you, it's this, but it's a formula that contains CBD, CBG. CBG is a pain reliever, an anti-inflammatory, and a muscle relaxer. It's also anti-hypertensive, anti-carcinogenic, an antidepressant, and an anti-arrhythmic, an antifungal. I'm not done though, because guess what else it contains? It contains CBGA, relieves pain, that's CBGA, relieves pain. CBDA reduces inflammation, and it does inhibit cancer cell growth, but I'm talking about pain. So the formula, this formula comes in soft gels. It's my biggest seller because most people have pain. Wonders for arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. There we go. So, where was it? So here's some of the main conditions that we use CBD to help. Pain, anxiety, insomnia, depression, stress, inflammation, all types, gastroarthritis. I have to share this about the gastro. I had a woman come in. She's been suffering from GERD for, she said, about now 7 years. She said not one medication helped. She's been doctoring for it for 7 years. And she came in, and I thought to myself, this would help her. The CBD, CBGA, CBDA, blah, blah. Sure enough, she was so ecstatic 3 days after she started the plant medicine. She came in and she said, it's the first time in 7 years I have no GERD. And I slept through the night because I have no GERD. And so, all types of inflammation, cancer and the side effects of cancer. Why do they say cancer? Many of the cannabinoids have anti-cancer and anti-tumor characteristics. But if many people then will go to THC, usually for cancer. But epilepsy, appetite, we could increase it or we can decrease it. There is a new cannabinoid out. It's not cheap though. It's called THCV. And it's called, nicknamed Diet Weed. But I gotta tell you, if you take it, you become satiated with a small amount of food. But the real exciting part is they're starting to do research on THCV because it does wonders for pre and regular type 2 diabetes. So it's very promising. The problem is CBD costs $900 a kilo. THCV costs $35,000 a kilo. And so the THCV right now is still pretty expensive. You get, it's like $109. We are hoping to do a cohort study with the THCV, and I will let everyone know that I've given talks to when that happens. Because then the product will be greatly discounted for the study. Let's see, fibromyalgia, migraines, IBS. We know now that's a deficiency of your endocannabinoid system, so we add cannabinoids and you feel a heck of a lot better. Neurodegenerative diseases. This one, I saw a video and I'm going to recommend, if you know anyone with Parkinson's and MS, but if you want to knock your socks off, go to YouTube, put in ex-cop cannabis Parkinson, and he will come up. Unfortunately, I can't do him justice, but you will see in that film clip, this man is in advanced Parkinson's. Now, early Parkinson's responds beautifully to CBD, and if you know anybody with Parkinson's, tell them. Because if you can get an early Parkinson's patient on CBD, okay, we could slow the progression. You're never going to cure it, but you could slow the progression. But once it's in end stage or late stage, then you need the THC. But this man has dyskinesia so bad, this is how he walked into where the doctor was. And his hand was here. This is how he walked. Doctor gave him a concentrate of THC. 30 seconds. Here, there, there. Side spin. Time lapse. And I forget if it's 17 minutes, but it'll show you on the YouTube. He went from that. Doctor made him lay down after he did the medicine. After the time lapse, the man sat up in the chair as steady as can be in under 20 minutes. That man just signed up. He's doing a 300-mile bike marathon, thanks to this plant medicine. What causes the bad dyskinesia that a lot of Parkinson's patients have? L-Dopa. But that's the drug they have to give to the Parkinson's patient. And when you first go on it, usually you're fine. It's usually when you're on it for a couple of years. And then the dyskinesia. But that is a side effect of the L-Dopa as well. Okay, so now we went through that board. These are terpenes. Terpenes add flavor and aroma to both THC and CBD. But it's not just the flavor and the aroma. Every one of these terpenes also provide health benefit. For instance, linalool. Linalool is found in lavender. Doesn't lavender relax us and help us to go to sleep? Then you have the terpene myrcene. I always want linalool and myrcene in a sleep product because they're going to help you sleep. And then the other one, pinene. I like pinene because it's a bronchodilator as well as antifungal, pain desensitizer. Each one of these terpenes. So, and by the way, myrcene is found in mangoes, right? Mangoes and hops and limonene. What's limonene? It's the skin of the lemon. And so these are all part of when you see on the box that you buy, it's going to say full spectrum or broad spectrum. My recommendation, and one of the things we're taught in school, please don't buy CBD at a gas station or Costco or Amazon. I had a woman come into the store. She said, "Do you have this? I take 4 and they work." And I looked at it and I was like, "Where did you buy this?" She said, "Amazon." I said, there's no such thing as 17 million milligrams of CBD. Those of us that are in this and know this are fighting with the FDA. We are begging for regulations. Because any Tom, Dick, and Harry can sell you a CBD product. And after I tell her that doesn't exist, that she should consider throwing it away, she said, oh, well then you won't like this one. And she pulls another jar of gummies out. 300 million milligrams. I said, darling, you should have to open that jar and just breathe it in and you'll be fine. I said, you have to throw these out. These are dangerous. So never buy CBD from anywhere other than a reputable store. And then the last, I think, okay. Now I'll take questions.
Isn't it good for essential tremors?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's another YouTube to look at. A woman, oh God, do essential tremors on YouTube. There's another woman, she had essential tremors for over 17 years. And she too, CBD, stopped her tremors, and she signed up to run a marathon. It's, yes. Yes.
You almost came to a slide that talked about interactions.
Oh, yeah, I mean, usually have my guy do it. There's 5 major, where are they? Oh, here it is. And what this means is it doesn't mean you can't take it. It means that we work with your doctor to lower or either increase or decrease the medication to go along with the CBD. Oh, okay, let me do it here. Amiodarone, it's anti-arrhythmic. Alprazolam, carbamazepine, that's an anticonvulsant, and clobazam, and warfarin. Now, Xarelto, Eliquis, those other blood thinners, not contraindicated, but when we have any question, we just will, now that we have our PhD pharmacologist, we will ask him, and if he doesn't have the answer, then we ask one of the 3 MDs that we have on staff. And yet, yes.
Where is your store located?
Oh, that's a good question. We are located in Brownwood on Megison, and we are right next to Cody's, and soon, and I'm really hoping that smell of bacon does not permeate those walls, or I'm gonna make them move. New breakfast place, the Broken Egg, is coming. We're right between the Broken Egg and Cody's on Megison. And our hours are we're open 7 days a week, much to my chagrin, and 10 to 6. And we're at the farmer's market on Saturday mornings, and then back in the store at 2 to 6, and then Sunday we're open 12 to 5. Yes.
Do you bring in a combination, let's say, of COPD AFib, tremor, you give them all the, your issues, if you would,
Mhm.
and they make up a concoction into something that'll treat if those individual ones, or will be a bunch of different ones. that
Yes.
will have to treat.
Yeah, we don't do any titration, so to speak, and eventually want to get there, but we will have a product. For instance, that product I talked to you about, CBD, CBG, CBDA, CBGA. You saw how many things they treat, so oftentimes, that might be all you need, and then we may add a sleep product to it, or we also have patches. And like, for instance, right now, if you buy a product, you get patches at 50% off. Patches are for pain. That lasts 12 hours a day, they're time release. But we have products that will treat what you ask for, and we may start our whole motto always, and it should be your motto too. Start low and go slow. If I put you on a CBD product, I'm gonna start you low and then say, you're on this product for 4 to 5 days. Let's see how you do, because we're all older, right? Many of us have not had this medicine, and so guess where your receptor sites are? They're in hiding. They haven't been used. And so you have to wake them up. We're taught in school, no one can make a determination that CBD does not work if you have not been on it for at least, I say a minimum of 2 weeks, they say a month. But I've never seen it not kick in at least 2 weeks.
Well, the same thing for qualification, is this, you have to have a doctor qualify you for these products?
No,
No, you
No.
can just go in and buy these
You
individual
can
products.
go in
and
and-
have a,
Oh, yeah.
consultation.
Yes, you'll sit with us. You can also, we don't know exactly when we are up and running with the doctor's reimbursement for the consult, but we are starting the consults at $50 right now until we get we don't know how long the credentialing. So if you wanted to make an appointment, you can make a private consult with me or with Sharon, the nurse practitioner. Yeah.
And you go in and get the individual products and see how they work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you don't want a private consult, then, I just pull you aside. But if you don't want people hearing, then we do a private consult. Any other questions?
Is there a shelf life for CBD mixed with the olive oil?
Yeah, I mean, they do have expiration dates on them, and I have to get rid of some products. It's a small box. I'm taking them, I'm not throwing them out. I don't worry about expiration dates as much as, and they're not expired like a year or two, it's just coming up, but they do come with expiration dates. Also, oh my God, how can I forget this? Never, ever buy a THC product, a CBD product. I should bring a box with me. There must be a QR code on that box. That is your certificate of analysis. That will tell you that that plant has been tested for pesticides, herbicides, heavy metals. You want to make sure that there's a QR code on the box, and look at it while you're in the store. And it will also tell you what terpenes Many of the companies, I have one company that's listing terpenes on their boxes now, and I hope they all go to that. But don't ever buy a product without a certificate of analysis and look at it. It shouldn't be more than 6 months old. Okay? Anything else? There is the sign-up sheet in the back. Please, if you're interested in free classes, we are about education, more than we are about selling product. So if you want, yes?
Oh, sorry, was this help anybody get for animals?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.